Welcome, teachers, to Personal Aspirations. You're a time and a place and a space for teachers looking for a brighter future. And maybe the picture has caught your attention. We'll be talking about how to deal with sharks hidden beneath the surface of the water towards the end. But you probably recognize the idea that sometimes it can feel like things are lurking down there somewhere that are somewhat dangerous. And we're going to be looking at that today as really as part of our exploration of how do we handle change in our lives? How do we handle scary change if we're going to be upping sticks from doing a teaching career and doing something else? It can feel, and rightly should feel, significantly challenging. And that this is part of our exploration of how consciousness works. And we've seen already, that you can look back at these previous episodes, that consciousness can be seen to have three quite distinct levels to it. We talk about the higher awareness, we talk about the lower awareness and the middle awareness. And today we're going to be looking at the lower awareness and how that can affect us in some way. Now, some of you may remember seeing the original Disney version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, or you may even have read the book. And you'll know that one of the climaxes to the story is when this giant squid gets hold of the Nautilus and has risen up from the deep and is threatening to pull the whole craft down at a time that would destroy everyone and everything on it. And our heroes have to get out and fight this thing off. And the lower awareness is very powerful. It's full of very powerful forces that can steer our life, but steer our life in a way which we can be somewhat unconscious of if we haven't learned how to attune ourselves to what's going on down there, if you like, because we don't experience that level directly. We always experience it indirectly. So we may be thinking of something, diving off a high diving board, for example, or jumping out of a plane or whatever, and we immediately feel fear, even though we're not up in a plane or we're not on the high diving board. It's enough for some of us just to imagine the possibility, to begin to feel a queasy stomach. And probably most of you listening have had the experience of knowing, if you aware you're going to have to speak in public the next day to a large audience, maybe made up of strangers or people powerful in your life, that although some people relish that, for quite a lot of people it's enough to give them to use an old-fashioned word, the collywobbles. It's enough to make you nervous because it's tuning in to things that have happened way back in the past, because the lower awareness, if we go back to this picture, the lower awareness is where experiences of the past sink away, the complexes, the deeper hidden drives in our life, the experiences that we have had at an age when we don't remember them in detail, but quite often we don't remember them at all, but they are there lurking beneath the surface, because it does appear that almost everything that we experience is held in some way within our psychological system, and those things that cause us disease at the time, cause us uncertainties at the time, can, when we are imagining something that resonates with that, causes us to re-experience these things as a threat. And of course, if this happens when we're beginning to consider making a life change, one that on the surface we think, yes, I would really like to have a life that's very different to the one I have at the moment, full of greater possibilities, full of more time to relax and rest, more time to choose, maybe earning more money and so on. But as we start thinking through the steps that lead to that, then there be dragons. There's a sense that there are monsters lurking there, things that we have to face. And the way that in the training that I had in this area, and what I've shared always with my clients, is that you need to be aware of these feelings, these frissons of fear, because they are a warning system. But if they're out of scale, if they are experiences too threatening, then they can hold us back from doing what we ought to do. We need to be able to take risks in life. A life without risks is a life that is boring and one that will remain in an area that is more and more becalmed, becomes more and more stagnant. And if we want to bring change into our life, and most of us, I suspect, do, then in order to bring that hopeful change, we need to start facing these things. And it's right and proper when we stand at the threshold of something that is new, that it should feel like a jump into the unknown. And the way to deal with it really is to, well, firstly know that it's happening. So if we think, yes, I would like to think of a career beyond teaching, but I'll do that tomorrow. I will go online. I'll start searching for things. I'll do that next week. I'm too busy at the moment. I'm too tired at the end of the day. And if we spot ourselves procrastinating, that is one of the ways in which the lower awareness influences the way we behave. And if we find ourselves ruminating on all the things that could go wrong, that's another instance of how things can come up and overwhelm us, a bit like that monster in the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And we can experience it just as nervousness, unease. And it's a warning system, but it shouldn't be a guidance system for what we actually choose to do. And it's important, therefore, to plan clearly and to think through the steps very clearly about changes we want to make in our life, how we will get from this point to that point, and to do it quite rationally. And then these irrational fears that can threaten to control our lives can be quietened somewhat. And we can be helped in this. So one of the ways we can be helped is by tuning in the other direction to our higher awareness. And we'll look at that next time.